Welcome back. You're watching Signature Television. So we have our reviewer in-house, Mr. Lawrence Ibenyewa. Good to have you. Good morning.
Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, thank you.
So this headline on The Guardian this morning, future of opposition uncertain as politicians begin realignment. I mean, everyone is looking at 2027, even though it's 2 years plus to that election. Permutations are up and the horse tradings have started. Do you think that the opposition stand any chance come 2027?
Well, it depends on them. It depends on what they're able to do. If it's something that happened in 2023, when everybody wants to become presidential candidate, I don't see how far they can go. And that is what happens when people are more interested in their self-interest than what to impact on the reality of people. If, as a Nigerian, my concern is to how to make the country better. And it can be done with a better governance structure. And you know that there are maybe, there is P2B, there is Conquest, so there is Atiku, and so on. And there are others may emerge. So they should be thinking, what combination of these persons can produce a better Nigeria for us? Not what will I do to become the candidate of the opposition? So that is really our problem. It is not, the zeal is not how to make Nigeria, but the issue is how do I become presidential candidate? Not even president. Some are prepared, some are happy to answer presidential candidate of a party. Are you getting it? So I don't know how far they can go. If they're able to put the acts together, align forces and then put up a strong front. They should be able to. That's how Buhari emerged.
Yes, that's an example you can easily point at.
Yeah.
But then you would say, has this coalition really even worked? Because it's not even just about winning an election, coalition winning an election. It's about doing the right things and taking the country to another level, at least better than where they left.
Which one? I think where it worked. Which one? The former one or
the former one? I mean, the one that happened in 2014/2015, where different parties came together and formed a united front that brought Buhari and Osibajo.
It worked.
It worked.
The aim was to take up government. Didn't they succeed? So it worked for them. But did it work for Nigeria? That's the bigger question.
So that's the thing. Do you think this would work if the coalition, if we have seen that coalition really doesn't work? Do you think this one would work and work for Nigeria?
I think it will work. Reason, Nigerians are getting wiser every day. People are being put to account every day, and it is with a more enlightened public. I'm sure that whoever emerges now will know how the person in power has fared, the incumbent has fared. You see how Nigerians. The other day we were talking about Jonathan's posters being hosted everywhere in the north. There are reactions to what they are passing through, and any sensitive person will say, these people have seen Wahala. What do I do to make their lives better? I don't think that anybody should be told that he should up his game if he gets to power, or that he should improve on what is on the ground to make Nigerians happy. I don't think anybody needs to be told that. Honestly, I don't think so.
Boala is saying that opposition can't stop Tinubu for 2027, that he must come back for re-election.
It depends on where he derives his prediction from. Is it based on the fact that they will delegate the electoral process, or based on the fact that Tinubu is performing well?
Based on the fact that the alliance is going on, no matter the alliance and all of that, they cannot be able to mature.
That's what I'm saying. Is he saying it based on the fact that the incumbent is doing very well and Nigerians will vote for him? Or is he doing very well? Or is he saying so based on the fact that he believes that they will be able to manipulate the electoral process? These are two things. If he's saying it based on the fact that the guy is doing so well, is he doing so well? Is it based on the ability to manipulate the electoral process? That may be, if you ask me, that is where his confidence lies. That's the way I look at it. Because people cannot be. I was coming to work now. I was looking on the streets. I said, everywhere is dry. I said, is today a Monday? Is this sit at home? No. Sincerely. I looked, vehicles ordinarily where you take 2 minutes to cross the road. All the roads are dry. So at a festive period, close to how many weeks to Christmas celebrations, when there should be heightened economic activities, heightened movements, and nothing is happening. And you tell us that he will come back to power based on what? Based on what permutations?
Well, I'm sure you've also experienced that national grid collapsed yesterday because light went off in the office, and we experienced it here. I don't know if you experienced it at home yesterday, because I also experienced it at home. But it seems that the grid collapsing doesn't take so much time, to recover. So when we hear grid collapsing, we shouldn't be so sad, because the next 1 or 2 hours, the thing will bounce back. And they are saying that they're going to add another 150 megawatt by year end. This is the 12th time the grid is collapsing in this year alone. Is it a sign of growth? Is it a sign of development? In that breath of collapsing of grid for 12 times in a year, we're hearing the federal government saying that 150 megawatts will be added before December finishes. Is this to you a sign of growth in that level?
Grid collapse has become part of our national life. I mean, it's like it's something you expect to hear quite often.
Or
something you expect to hear quite often, and it's no longer it's becoming funny. It's becoming like I don't know how to put it, but it's really embarrassing. The other day, the minister said he has set up a committee to look into why the grid is collapsing. Some few weeks back, National Assembly has intervened. All this back and forth, and this is the government that is telling you that he will. Nobody should talk about opposition should not come in demand. There is no vacancy in Aso Rock and so on and so forth. Is it because things are going well for the country? How long ago was the power? What do you call it? The power structure, power sector privatized. So what have we benefited from it? So really, it's really embarrassing. We are bringing in 150 megawatts or whatever they say they are bringing in. Once we see it, I heard the president saying that, talking with the German president, that the chairman, he said this person is and so on. Until we see it, it's not. We are tired of promises and we are doing this, we are doing that. Let us see the result. That's the most important.
Gas producers actually cut supply to Gencos that affected the recent collapse that we had in the grid.
That should not be our concern. Whether they cut or they increase or they reduce, should that bother us? Let them give Nigerians power supply regularly. And for wait till we talk about power. Do you know how much those of us that so-called band A spend in electricity? It pains me so much. In fact, I spend more on electricity than fueling my car. Sincerely. Wow. I do, yes. I do it sincerely. It is. You are not in band A.
I don't even know which one is band A, but
if you answer by A, you will know. Nobody tells that. You don't know. You know. You know because you are not there. When you come in,
is it because of the amount you pay?
Of course, the amount we pay, it is killing, and that was one of the issues that brought about the protest. The last what was it? Our protest, end bad governance protest. It was one of the points that the protesters elected the president, and that was, as a matter of fact, that is the biggest problem for me as an individual. And upon that, you are still talking about collapsing or not collapsing, and all this money you are making, what are you using to do?
That is actually a very, very interesting point to make, because electricity is a very important source for any economy. I mean, if you have electricity at least constant enough, I think the complaint has always been that we don't pay what we should pay, and that when we start paying what we should pay, that we should have this power constant. But then now people are paying what they should pay.
Maybe it's because I'm not paying. Some of you have not paying.
No, but I heard they will still migrate a whole lot of persons into band A very soon. And
pray they don't do it so fast. Pray they don't do it so fast.
Right?
Pray for it.
Maybe we'll take some shock absorbers.
We are praying that we revert to where we
used to be.
Tax reform bills, framework to check abuse of VAT spending in place as presidency. But my question is, how and or where, when did they notice there has been an abuse of VAT? Because everyone's been talking about, especially the president's talking about tax reform bills.
I don't, sincerely, this story is not very clear to me. Is it abuse those who receive the VAT? This
VAT spending.
I'm coming. VAT is shared between levels of government. VAT is like the tax on commodities sold in the market or goods and services. The VAT portion that it is shared into the three levels of government: federal, state, and then local government. Now, if a state gets its own fair share of the VAT, we want to go and check what they use their VAT for in the federation. I don't know. I need to read deep into that to know how they're going to do it. Is that the only money that is abused? They have maybe VAT is about 10% of their budget. There are other components of the budget, other sources of income. Is it the VAT that they must be sure how it is utilized? What of the other sources of income? What of the other revenue heads? How would they also make sure that it is not being abused? So that story doesn't really make sense to me. Sincerely, it doesn't. If you maybe can.
Well, just to make sense, I buy into your input, really. Court restrained further sale publication of Faratimi's book. I mean, the book has made so many chart-topping, activity in the last few days since it was released. I'm not sure if that book would have been a bestseller courtesy of Amazon if Babalola did not come in to do the things that he did, because it was part of the reasons why the thing show up to where it is. Do you think this move by courts asking the stoppage of the sale of the book would make any difference? Because, I mean, the book is all over the place.
I just want to ask you, if the one you have, will you surrender it to authorities, the one in your house?
But there's some shelves, the shelves in Abuja that have removed it from their shelves. That means some stores, some bookstores in Abuja have removed it from their shelf.
All of those who have bought theirs, would they return it to the bookshops?
If it's seen with you in public, you may be arrested.
I read it in my house. So let me tell you, there are things that happen in this. There are things that happen inside that you begin to laugh. You know that this man, I'm sure Belinda didn't know that there was such a book somewhere.
Until the whole thing.
Indicted,
exactly. We had to go read it because
maybe you know, because I know maybe you know.
Because of the situation, we had to go read
I do not
news.
even know. So you are telling the world, what you did with the judiciary. Well, what you allegedly did. I'm not saying he's guilty or not, but people who never knew such thing existed. In fact, I read online maybe yesterday or 2 days ago, and one guy who said he's going to come, he will come and testify, and started the case that involved him. He is a lawyer to a lecturer in one university in Ekiti State or so, that had to who had the case. In fact, somebody who is teaching in Afebala University had the case with his wife, and the wife took the children and went to Port Harcourt to stay there, apparently severing the marriage somehow. That with the influence of Afebala, police went to Rivers State, Port Harcourt, brought the wife and the children and borrowed them back to Ekiti State, allegedly because of the influence of Afebala, because the lecturer teaches in his university. The man said he's prepared to come and testify on this Farotimi case. So these things are coming up. Maybe there are other people who are victims of that high-handedness, if I may use the word, or somebody, well, not high-handed, influence, of woman influence on the judiciary process in Nigeria. So these things are coming up. Ordinarily, I wouldn't have had that, wouldn't have had it.
Yeah.
So I don't know really if this thing is an adventure or a misadventure for Afeb Balola. And he let me tell you, Pharaoh Timiot, I know, you will be laughing where he is. If you think you have hurt him, you have not. The Pharaoh Timiot, I know, he's okay where he is. That's why when I heard that Toby went to
Meet for
Alpha Bola. I said, why did you, to do what? To do what? If you somehow, I would have told him not to go. So
I mean, he criticized him online, saying that this is taming freedom of
nobody
speech.
should beg for his behalf.
You know, so anyways, thank you so much.
The point I'm making is that the guy has just helped in publicizing
The book.
what ordinary people did not know. The book is making the bestsellers. The book the issue we never knew about.
He's making a lot of money.
Yeah.
In fact, Alpha Bola is saying that he's going to start collecting the royalties from the money that that is defaming him, and
Yes.
based on that, so he's going to.
I'm sure he shot himself on the leg. He did. He never knew what he was doing.
All right, Lawrence Ibenyawa, thank you so much for your insights.
Thank
Thank you
you,
for your time.
Thank you, Charles and Belinda.
We're back shortly after this. Do stay with us.